In 1963, we silently began to modernize our military. By 1965, we said our military is partially modernized. But what India did in 1971, we said that our military is now fully modernized. That you see, after 1971, when Pakistan lost East Pakistan, US was very upset. Why was US upset? Because see, after all, the US and Pakistan were allies. Cold War is going on. And in the Cold War, Pakistan was basically a base that the Americans were using. Pakistan was what? It was a base that the Americans were using. Now a part of that base called East Pakistan is lost. Bangladesh is created. India said कि भाई the liberation of East Pakistan is the high day for Indian military. We started saying this, that it's a high day for Indian military. See, in 1963, we silently began to modernize our military. By 1965, we said our military is partially modernized. But what India did in 1971, we said that our military is now fully modernized. Modernized to this extent that it is capable of creating a new country in the world out of nowhere. So you see, in that enthusiasm, when we started making these statements, our military is fully modernized to the extent that we have delivered result. The result is that we have created a new country. We have supported, people who were already frustrated, alienated, to have their own presence and rule. US did not find all these statements positive at all. So what did USA do? They made an assessment. They said, sir, the problem is very simple. They said that the problem is that Indian military today stands to be highly modernized. They said if the Indian military stands to be today highly modernized, then it has become too powerful. America said that this powerful Indian military is a threat. They said that today this Indian military has threatened East Pakistan. It has become Bangladesh. We have lost this base. Now USA started making this assessment that if this powerful Indian military does anything to West Pakistan, then what will happen is that West Pakistan as a base will also go. And if that goes, then what is left? Afghanistan. And if you remember, I told you earlier also that Afghanistan basically has had communist rule. And they had a monarchy which was close to communists. That is why Pakistanis were supporting Islamists there. So USA understood that the problem is that this Indian military now, if it does anything to West Pakistan, it will create a trouble for us. Not a trouble for Pakistan, but a trouble for us because we will lose a base. So now, post 1971, US became busy in ensuring one thing, that they became busy to ensure that we have to ensure survival of Pakistan. USA said we have to ensure survival of Pakistan at all costs. East Pakistan is gone, West Pakistan is left. We have to ensure the survival of West Pakistan or Pakistan, because if Pakistan survives, our presence in the region to check Russians in the Cold War survives. If Pakistan goes, our presence in Asia goes, and if our presence in Asia goes, the Cold War goes the Russian way. The world goes the Russian way. We will not let that happen. If we have to ensure the survival of Pakistan, what is the hurdle in ensuring this? The hurdle is an Indian military which stands to be too powerful right now. So USA said, fine, what we are going to do is that this Indian military, which is today too powerful, should not do anything to disturb Pakistan. The best way to do that is to ensure that we create something for India. The best way to ensure that is to do something for India in such a way that this Indian military, which stands to be too powerful today, does not threaten Pakistan. So it is in this backdrop that USA now did two things after 1971. They first began to improve their ties with China. US-China relations opened up. They became good friends. By 1978, China, under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping, decided to become a capitalist country also. So when China decided to become a capitalist country, what happened? China at that time understood one thing. They understood that engaging with US will also be beneficial because by doing that we can keep a check on India as well, because India is trying to become a little too aggressive. Number two, US deepened their ties with Pakistan now. Decided to ensure their survival by deepening their engagement with them. So by these two policies of US Pakistan, US China, here deepening the ties, here improving the ties, USA eventually now decided to do the next step. Next step was to divert the attention of the Indian army so that it doesn't remain too powerful and does not threaten the existence of Pakistan. So what did the USA do? USA, number one, with support of Pakistan, created problem for India in Punjab. So Americans supported the Pakistanis. Pakistanis on behalf of the Americans started creating trouble in Indian Punjab. In Indian Punjab, a fault line already existed of differences between the Hindus and the Sikhs living there. These differences were accentuated, multiplied, and consequently, as a result of which, with the American backing of monetary support and arms and ammunition support, problem in Punjab was created in the form of a demand for a separate state of Khalistan. When this Khalistani terrorism began to rise, what was Indian government's response? India decided to deploy their army to suppress this Khalistan movement. So a portion of the army now gets busy on the western front. They are trying to tackle the Punjab problem. USA along with China started creating a problem for India in the northeast. So as I told you earlier that in the northeast also fault lines existed. The fault lines in the northeast were what? The fault lines in the northeast were basically that there were tribal groups. So Americans and the Chinese came together. USA told China, see, you are there on the ground, we are going to give you arms, ammunition, money. You pick up these tribal groups and their leaders, take them to Yunnan province, which is in the Chinese side, Yunnan province nearing Burma if you see on the map. So they said you take these guys there, give them arms, ammunition, money, guerrilla warfare training, whatever you want to give. Send them back and ask them to do secessionism. So what happened now in Northeast in the 1970s, we began to witness secessionist terrorism. So what did USA do? USA created Punjab problem. They created Northeast problem. In the Punjab problem, Pakistan played a role with US. In the Northeast problem, China played the role with US. Indian military at one place was now used to suppress the problem in Punjab. Indian military was now sent to Northeast and now started suppressing the problem in the Northeast. Attention of the Indian military got diverted. Now when attention of the Indian military got diverted, that at one place it is becoming busy to solve the Punjab terrorism, it is at the same place fighting a Northeast terrorism. You see geographically what is happening. That Indian military is now fighting at two extreme fronts. One is the Western front, one is the Eastern front. Army is busy suppressing the problems at two places. So army is not united, and if the army is not united at one place, it has no time to do anything to Pakistan. So you see, this is how the Americans realized their goal in the Cold War of ensuring survival of Pakistan. So I hope you are able to understand this. That Americans were able to ensure the survival of Pakistan by creating troubles for the Indian military, which they perceived had become too powerful post 71. So two problems that they created was driven with the motivation and attempt to divert the attention of the Indian military to two extreme fringes. And when the Indian military was now driven to two extreme fringes, the Indian military's resources were to be spent. Indian military was now busy to basically fight at these two fronts. And if Indian military was fighting at these two fronts, now one thing became very clear. That army is not having the time, energy, motivation to sit down or do anything with respect to Pakistan. So therefore what happens as a consequence of this? What is the result of this? The result is that now Pakistan and the state survival is ensured. And if Pakistan and its survival is ensured, one thing is very clear. This is what the Americans always wanted. That now Pakistan should not be disturbed because we need that territory as a base for the Cold War. So they ended up in creating these problems for us. We took the almost entire 1980s and half of 1990s to suppress the Punjab problem. By 96, 97 the Punjab problem got suppressed. Then it took us much more time in Northeast because see, Punjab is only one state. But Northeast is 7 sister states. Problem is created everywhere. You have problem in Assam, you have problem and subversion happening in Mizoram, you have subversion happening in Arunachal Pradesh. Your subversive activities happening even in Nagaland, more aggressively there. Because the Britishers also had an influence in Nagaland over Angami, Fizo and others. So one thing became very clear. Problem took more long time here. 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. It's only by around 2015-16 we say that to some extent the problem has stabilized in the Northeast. Because in 2015 the Naga Peace Framework came. This Naga Peace Framework in 2015 eventually solved to some extent the problem. While there are fissures in the Naga Peace Framework, we don't need to worry about that. The peace framework has been signed. Our approach in the Northeast was very clear. That if the tribal groups are fighting, create dissension amongst the tribal groups. Because the tribal groups are not united. They have sub-tribes, subgroups. Let each one of those subgroups assert. The entire tribal group which tries to today become powerful will automatically evaporate. But anyway, we don't need to go into the counter-terrorism model here. The fact of the matter is that it took us almost 4.5 decades to solve the Northeast problem. 1.5 decades to solve the Punjab problem. So this is how the survival of Pakistan was ensured through the Cold War. But you see, one thing has become very clear now. That these kind of things that have happened to us by state and non-state actors like America, China, Pakistan, and obviously their entire jihadi industry that the Pakistan has created in Kashmir and all.